My father just asked me how to reduce or eliminate his inflammation. This is what I shared with him. What's going on, Roy Wands? Welcome back to the channel. I just spoke to my father for about an hour and a half, and I know he's only going to use about 0.5% of what I told him. He's stubborn, and he's not going to do pretty much anything I said. He might change one thing. He's very stubborn. But I figured this would be great information to share with the royal family. So let's get right into it. First, inflammation has a bad rep. It's actually a great thing when the body jumps into an inflammation response initially, because generally that means we have some kind of cut, some kind of bruise, some kind of damage to the body, and the body jumps in there, inflames that area, and starts to repair it. That's what inflammation is. It's a repair system, a mechanism that jumps into action when you have some kind of damage to your body. On the flip side, chronic inflammation is very hard on the body. When the body's always under stress, always trying to fix something, always trying to fight something, it becomes very damaging. It becomes very damaging to the organs, to the blood vessels. Your blood vessels start to harden because of all the pressure that's always on it. The pressure is the plaque that's building up in the arteries. The plaque leads to strokes and to heart attacks. The chronic inflammation is something you really don't want to have. And if you do, stick along, because I'm going to show you how to greatly reduce it and maybe even eliminate it. Think of it this way. When cholesterol starts to build up in the artery walls, it's a protective mechanism. This means your blood is too acidic. When your blood is too acidic, your artery walls begin to harden, and that leads it to easily bursting. So the cholesterol comes in and coats your arteries so that it makes it harder for your arteries to bust. But at the same time, while it's protecting your arteries, it's also narrowing the holes within the arteries, which makes the blood pump through the arteries faster, more vigorously, which gives you high blood pressure. So the way you will reverse something like this is to make sure that your blood is not acidic. That's the key, because if your blood is not acidic, the cholesterol will automatically regress. It would automatically start to clear up. So one of the biggest things we have to do is stop our blood from being acidic. Now let's get into some of the things that causes inflammation, which would be dairy, which would be refined sugar, which would be processed foods, which would be gluten. Stay away from white rice and white bread. Stay away from store-bought juices. These things are loaded with sugar and different preservatives and everything else you could possibly imagine that is not healthy for you. If you are desperate, you can go to the store and buy some organic juice, preferably that only has 2 different ingredients, water and fruits. If you can, it would be even better if you could go to the store and get freshly made juice. That's always the best. But if not, that other alternative would be the best second choice. Remember, these are the things you really don't want to have, because all these processed foods and these things that have shelf life preservative ingredients in it, these are the things that come into your body. They're foreign to your body, and they cause havoc, which is, the havoc is really in turn inflammation, because your body is seeing it as an enemy and is trying to get rid of it and clear it from your body as soon as possible. This leads to arthritis, joint pains, high blood pressure, and everything else you could possibly imagine. Stay away from these things at all costs. GMOs. Stay away from GMOs. Stay away from GMOs. Especially soy, corn, and fish. And potatoes. Those 4 things are the most genetically modified things there are. Those things create a lot of havoc in the body. They cause a lot of inflammation in the body. There's a lot of pullback. There's a lot of fighting about those particular scenarios, whether it's causing the lining of the gut to have holes in it, which causes leaky gut syndrome, which I think it does personally, so I stay away from it. If I do eat corn or any of those other things, minus that salmon, I just don't trust the salmon, I will eat it organic. Now, the reason I don't eat that fish is because I just recently seen a documentary, I forgot what it was called, and it was saying that the FDA actually approved GMO salmon, meaning it was never in the ocean, it was none of that. They actually created it. They spliced and diced this fish, and the FDA approved it for consumption for Americans, which is mind-boggling. I mean, they literally made it up, and one of the concerns was whether this fish was going to go out into the general population in the ocean and try to reproduce. So they sterilized the woman fish, the woman salmon, so that it couldn't reproduce. Now, for me, it's red flags, because you know what happens when I consume this fish? Is it having the same kind of reproductive effects on me? Now, they say no. They say they studied it for 20 years and it's absolutely cleared. It's absolutely clean and fresh and is ready to be eaten. But I just don't want to take a chance. So I eliminated it from my diet altogether. You know, plus these GMO corns and potatoes and stuff like that, they cause a lot of inflammation too. So if you can, avoid it at all costs. I eat it if it's organic. If it's organic, I eat it sparingly. Not the fish, the corn, organic sweet corn sometimes, organic potatoes sometimes, like French fries, and what was the other one? It was corn, and every once in a while, I'll eat that soy. Every once in a blue moon. I mean, like once every 2 months. And it's a little bit that I slice up because I'm in an emergency situation and I need to cook something. That's about it, because the main thing with this soy thing is there's too much estrogen being released from soy. And they say if you only eat in a small amount, it won't really affect you in a negative capacity. But I find that it's a lot of soy products in everything that we're eating, even if it's not labeled. I seen another documentary a while ago that also stated that tomato sauce had tons of soy being put in it. And they showed it being manufactured in China, and they was dumping tons of soy in tomato sauce and not even labeling it. So people don't even know that they're eating that much soy. And me, I had a personal experience when I was eating soy. I just didn't feel good. I felt like I was being feminized personally. You know, after a while, and I OD'd on soy. It's like when I first became a vegetarian back in the day, I just consumed a massive amounts of soy, and I had some friends of mine. I was like, yo, what's going on, man? We're like, what's up? You good? And I was like, yeah. And I was seeing pictures of myself. I didn't really like the way I looked in the pictures. And that's when I started doing the research and found out that soy releases a lot of estrogen. Now, a lot of people try to debate that and fight it. But my personal experience was something that confirmed that, yeah, you eat a lot of soy, you will start to become feminized. And for me, that just wasn't an option. I want things to build my testosterone, not take it away. You know what I'm saying? So that's something for y'all to really look at and really kind of critically think on your own, because the soy also has a negative effect on women when they eat too much of it too. I really don't know what those side effects are. I remember reading about it in a couple of journals years ago that it had a negative impact on women as well. But I focused on it because I wanted to build more testosterone and eliminate as much estrogen as possible. These are some other things you could consume to eliminate inflammation: turmeric, ginger, lemon, apple cider vinegar. If you're going to eat fish, wild caught salmon. Hopefully it is really wild caught. But these particular things, and garlic. I don't know if I said garlic, because garlic is phenomenal in terms of eliminating inflammation, in terms of help rebuilding and eliminating bacteria and other negative entities within your stomach, and it helps to clean up your blood too. Garlic is wonderful. That's why I always try to incorporate some kind of garlic into my food, because it really does have such a powerful positive impact. So to close it out, You have to be really mindful of the things that you're eating, and what you're consuming will dictate your inflammation level. If you stop consuming the things that will inflame you, and you start to put in things that will decrease inflammation, which, you know, if you're putting in things that decrease inflammation, it also has a lot of other health benefits. It just comes together. Just like things that inflame you also have a lot of negative impacts. So be mindful of what you're putting in your body. When you're eating, you don't want to eat late at night. If you're just getting up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock, eating something that's causing a lot of havoc and inflammation too, you want to eliminate doing stuff like that. Remember, stay away from all of these juices. Try to make your main liquid water, fresh spring water, distilled water, something like that that can help flush out all the negative toxins in your blood, and that will help you to become less acidic, less inflamed, less abilities to have strokes and heart attacks, and to be overall wonderful.